violence or no other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police, but I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let's get into the video.
She was shot at an Exxon station in the 4100 block of Kirby Parkway. Memphis fires say they responded to the shooting call. It happened right before 10 o'clock last night.
And like I've been saying, guys, women, children, they're not off limits. These super gremlins want all that. They want all the smoke. They don't care about shooting women. They don't care about shooting children. And I'm saying this so that you are aware and that you are alert when dealing with these super gremlins and you're around these super gremlins. Just understand that they're not going to spare you just because of your gender or your age. They are an equal opportunity super gremlin on demon time.
Working to find out if that woman's doing.
We are just getting started in the new year, and already Memphis police are busy investigating several violent crimes. Across the city, there were at least 6 shootings yesterday into today.
Every city we go, it's like there's a multitude of shootings in a very short span of time. And it just so happens that this only happens in the community. Is it a coincidence or a conspiracy?
Among the victims were children, 3 in fact. WREG's Jordan James is live with reaction from community members who are saying last year was tough. This is not how they wanted to ring in 2022.
Jarita, after a record-setting year of violence, this is not how the community wanted to bring in this year. As you mentioned, we had several shootings involving children, which is why they want to see changes moving forward.
3 crime scenes, 2 different outcomes, and 1 resounding message.
Memphis, we just got to do better.
This plea coming after a 17-year-old boy was killed last night.
17-year-old boy. And I don't know if this young brother was involved in any type of demon time activities. He may not have been. Doesn't matter in Memphis. We've seen it time and time again. How many examples of this do you guys have to see before you start sharing these videos, liking the video, hitting the Cash App, hitting the PayPal, supporting the message, not just the messenger? Because people are blind to this. They're oblivious to it. It's not even on their radar. It's not in their everyday thought process or train of thought. If anything, in the community, people are trying to suppress it. And that's why I think we have so many people, like when the grandmothers and mothers, oh, I forgive the perpetrators, even though they ain't even been caught yet. You don't even know who or what you're forgiving. They just go straight to forgiveness. It's because they're trying to suppress what's actually happening, because they don't want to, they can't intellectually, they're not intellectually honest enough to just say, hey, we got a real big motherfreaking problem. Because then they believe that it sheds a negative light in totality, and it you know, falls in line with what these people think about it. It's just like, look, you're not gonna solve nothing with that type of mentality.
At a Hickory Hill home, then 4 hours later, a 3-year-old baby was shot in the neck. Now today,
wow, 3-year-old baby shot in the neck. This is Memphis. This is Memphis for y'all, man. I ain't. Wow.
13-year-old boy was shot outside of a Parkway Village gas station. Is where we find Warren Cannon.
The fact that people would aimlessly just start shooting knowing that his kids around just shows the ignorance is still going on.
The youngest of the 3 victims.
These aren't people. These are super gremlins on demon time.
Victims is Ayana Morris. Her family says she was inside of this Nutbush home when someone fired several rounds into it.
It's hard to have to see your little niece like that. Anybody will be mad or want answers because it's so sensitive, because people currently commit crimes and not understand the consequences that they doing behind it.
Oh, they understand, all right. They just don't care. They just don't care. I mean, has it crossed you guys' mind that, hey, these guys just don't give a, like, I want to say the F word, but they don't give a damn. They don't, they know there's consequences. They don't care about the consequences. They feel invincible, untouchable. And even if they are to face consequences, they feel like this goes down in their street code legacy. Because, you know, the street code is upheld over anything else in the community. I hope you guys understand and know that.
This shooting not only impacting the Morris family, but those who live in this Nutbush neighborhood who heard everything unfold.
That happened right after 12 o'clock. When that kid, I heard the lady come out screaming, just screaming, blood-curdling screams. And oh my gosh, it's the most terrifying thing I've ever heard.
Look at this white supremacist, right? This racist white supremacist feeling empathy for these super gremlins on demon time. Okay? We're supposed to believe that this guy right here is a white supremacist. Just off of face value. Just for having like the white camo hat, he's a suspected white supremacist. I want you guys to let that sink in. Because this is the type of ideology that's spreading. And it's, quite frankly, it's so that we have to avoid the total issue. And the issue is that the community, or the communita rather, is on demon time.
Screaming, blood-curdling screams. And oh my gosh, it's the most terrifying thing I've ever heard. Just awful. I've never believed that.
Last year, 31 children were killed due to gun violence in the city.
31 children. 31 children. That's more than 2 a month.
This week, rioters held an event in their memory.
Come on, Memphis, Tennessee, wake up. How many more do we have to lose before you get tired?
I'm going to tell you right now, these super gremlins don't get tired. Ask Kevin Gates.
But you're going to get tired one day. But don't get tired when it's too late.
A community in mourning as the violence continues in a new year.
In several of these cases, Memphis police are searching for leads to try to make an arrest in these shootings. If you have any information, contact Crime Stoppers at 901-528-CASH. Reporting here live outside of North Main Station, Jordan James, WREG, News Channel 3.
Oh, thank you. Of course, if you can help, do the right.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Frederick Douglass, where a shooting just took place. And as you can see, it's a pretty rough area. So I'm basically risking my life reporting on this madness. So make sure you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. Like the video, hell, share the video. And make sure you go ahead and leave a comment down in the comments section to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this son violence in the streets. I'm Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
Helen King says her son Tyler is haunted by a terrifying carjacking.
It was the worst ever. He's still experiencing a lot of PTSD from it.
Police say the 23-year-old food delivery driver was picking up an order from this Jason's Deli at Poplar and Highland when he noticed a Jeep Cherokee parked next to his white Infiniti.
Wow, and I'm telling you guys, the ride share, the Uber Eats, what is it, Grubhub, all these different platforms in the community, they setting you up for the okie doke. You can do this hustle anywhere else. As long as, you know, the demographics is looking right, if you know what I mean, you can do this hustle anywhere else and make a good living. But in the community, you're putting your life at risk. What did I tell you about the woman in Norcross in Christmas of 2021? She was just out there trying to get some money to maybe buy some more Christmas gifts for her kids, and these two female super gremlins robbed her at gunpoint, tried to jack the car. She let them have it. Almost lost her life over that.
Investigators say a man with a gun demanded the keys to Tyler's car.
He was petrified
and handed them over, only able to watch as the man drove off in his Infiniti, followed by that Jeep.
Of course, I was blessed that he was alive, but I was angry, upset, and I see a lot of.
And yeah, you are blessed that he's alive, because like we saw with rapper Gunu, shot him in the back after robbing him. So her son is lucky to be alive. I mean, she's lucky that these super gremlins didn't end him for real.
This stuff all the time, but to happen to your own child personally, it is very heartbreaking.
The carjacking happened in December.
So you heard what she said. She hears about it all the time, but it happened at sea. I'm telling you, more people have to get touched before we actually, you know, take this thing seriously. Like, it would have to be that, like, I don't know, like Barack Obama was driving and got carjacked, and they were like, oh, well, there's a carjacking crisis, and, you know, it would have to be something drastic.
December, but police didn't find the car until a lucky break just a few days ago. Investigators say officers were responding to a robbery in North Memphis when they spotted Tyler's Infiniti.
Sometimes karma happens.
Police say 18-year-old Davion Nickelberry was sitting in the vehicle.
Davion Nickelberry, that's a pretty funny name. You got a last name like Nickelberry, you definitely don't want to name your kid Davion. But you know, indicators of demon time. I would just say the neck tattoos, definitely. Definite indicators of demon time. Not saying that, oh, anybody with neck tattoos is on demon time, but I'm just saying there's a high likelihood that that's a super gremlin on demon time.
Vehicle with 2 guns in his sweatshirt pocket. After an initial investigation, officers determined he was responsible for the December carjacking and arrested him.
All of the cars in Memphis that have been stolen, it's just that it's a blessing to get this car back.
Sadly, with thousands of dollars in damage.
It's been very, very bad.
As for Nickelberry,
I really hope that there's help for him in the system. I do.
Lord have mercy, sister. This is where we gotta stop. All right, you're asking for help for the super gremlin when you should be asking for stringent punishment, chastisement, damn near condemnation.
Very, very bad.
As for Nickelberry,
I really hope that there's help for him in the system. I do think that justice should be served for my family, but at the same time, I hope while justice is served, that he's able to get the treatment he needs as well.
What treatment? What treatment? Getting money put on his books, going live on TikTok in prison, getting down with a gang, and then, you know, living off of your prison and street career. Like, what help are you talking about, sis? I'm really trying to figure that out.
Because obviously there's something going on to just be out stealing, taking from people at gunpoint.
Yeah, you would certainly think so. Police haven't said if they believe Nickelberry is connected to that robbery. They were investigating when they spotted the stolen car.
Some of the violent crimes happening in Memphis, like the murder of young Dolph, what it is, community terrorism.
And that's the exact language that he is adding to a bill making its way through the state legislature that would toughen up reckless endangerment charges.
And Action News 5's Kelly Cook joins us now live with how this bill was inspired by the high number of shootings that involve children in our city. Kelly?
Joe and Kanji, more than 30 children were shot in Memphis last year. Many of them were just innocent bystanders struck by stray bullets. Well, State Representative G.A. Hardaway is pushing a bill that will put a new title for those who shoot outside of cars, often involved in gang activity, as community terrorists. Shots fired at this Doors Avenue home last month struck and injured a 7-year-old playing inside. Tuesday, Memphis police arrested 19-year-old Larry Gill in the case. He's no stranger to authorities. Police say Gill has ties to a local gang. It's cases like this that inspired House Bill 1321.
Indiscriminate shooting.
House Bill 1321. And I'll probably go live on this. I'm going to make a note of it. I'm going to go live on this and we're going to read this bill. But this is what I'm going to tell you guys. I don't think this bill will get passed. I don't think this bill will get passed because what's going to happen is it's going to be pegged as discrimination against super gremlins because they're going to be disproportionately targeted with this terrorist bill, like to classify somebody as a terrorist. That takes a lot, and that's going to inhibit your success in any future endeavors that involve employment, right? So it's definitely going to disproportionately affect these super gremlins. So I would just say, man, just slap on more time. Stop trying to get fancy and change the classification. Like, oh, instead of a felony charge, he's getting a terrorist charge, but it's still going to be the same. He's still going to be able to bond out and get it. Like, we're going to read the bill. We're going to break it down, but that's what it sounds like to me.
Indiscriminate shooting, which is nothing more than an effort by criminal gangs who are terrorizing the community.
State Representative G.A. Hardaway is pushing through a bill that would expand the penalties for reckless endangerment to include an act of community terrorism.
Terrorism.
So this is a brother who is pushing this bill. Okay. Are we going to... Oh, sorry. I guess my camera kind of switched up on me. But are we going to say that this guy is a sellout? This guy is Uncle Tom? Is this guy all the things that y'all like to come in my comment section with? Right? Because it sounds like he cares. It just sounds like he's going about it the wrong way. Just make the punishment stricter for violent crimes. That's all you have to do, bro.
As defined on the national and international stages, is about using intimidation to instill fear in the populace.
Hardaway says acts such as drive-by shootings, like the one that injured 7-year-old Legend Johnson, are the focus of the bill. House Bill 1321 will increase reckless endangerment charges to a Class C felony and revoke licenses for up to 5 years from the date of conviction. Addressing shooting out of moving vehicles and other violent crimes is an issue in Shelby County. Governor Bill Lee announced he's adding 20 additional Tennessee Highway Patrol troopers to help with staffing shortages in the area. Lee says it's part of a new crime prevention plan. Hardaway applauds the plan but says more needs to be done.
To not only have an increase in manpower, but to have the additional technology that's available to THP that may not be available to our local folks. But I would caution the governor, caution the mayors, that just adding more officers to the streets only addresses a certain category of crime.
Hardaway says reducing poverty and providing more economic opportunities are the best ways to lower crime in a community with skyrocketing violent crime numbers.
Okay, so you heard that. Reducing poverty and all this kind of stuff. Look. Some of these super gremlins who are doing these things, they don't want a job. There, I said it. You could throw all the money out there. You could throw your PPPs, your SBAs, your EIDLs. You could throw all the grants and forgiveness loans out there. These super gremlins are still going to continue to be on demon times.
Now, that bill was sent back to the Criminal Justice Subcommittee due to a technicality of some language that was omitted. Hardaway says the bill does have bipartisan support. He believes it will have no problem passing the full House. Live tonight in Memphis, Kelly Cook, Action News 5.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work!